way we handle family business. This all has to be handled correctly.
Welcome to the Holy Shhh Podcast, or shh, holy shit, we can't be cussing. Holy Shhh Podcast. It's your boy AB from DET.
It's your boy Ryan T. the Icon.
My name's Chuck Jordan.
What?
I'm gonna have to go before him. It's your boy King Coach, man. What's good? What it do? Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. How everybody doing today?
Good, I'm good.
What?
Oh man, last week we dove deep into some mental health topics. Today, let's start off with some professional wrestling. Chuck Jordan, you got a
And that's
question
the
for the
bottom
people.
line. Cause Chuck Jordan says, "Oh, let me stop playing." So last week, I had a thought about factions because I was like, Seth got this new faction. We see a bunch of factions in wrestling. I was like, all right, if you can have a 4-person faction with one manager, who are you putting together? If you, mind you, any wrestling platform.
I'll start off. So when I saw this question, I started to piece this fantasy group together, and then I realized half of the group was already a group. So I thought to myself, I just want to be in that group. So my 5 people, give me John Moxley, give me Gabe Kidd, give me Claudio Castagnoli, give me Pac, and my manager, Marina Shafir, a.k.a. the Death Riders, man. I don't give a shit what nobody got to say out there in the IWC. Moxley's killing it. It's one of the best factions in the business. The long-term storytelling, the building of each character. Marina Shafir was afterthought.
She was lost in the water.
Lost in the wind. Now she's just a prime competitor, doing better than her goddamn husband. Who would have thought that? But that's what I would choose. I don't need to pick a fantasy faction. It's one existing right now. Put me in the Death Riders.
But before we move on from that, quick question. Do you think we see Ronda Rousey in AEW with the Death Riders, or do you think we get Shayna Baszler first between the two?
You will definitely get Ronda Rousey in AEW. It's coming. It's only a matter of time. Shayna Baszler's going to come, and her, Marina, I see them doing the 4 horsewomen in AEW. Mine is Jessamine Duke because she just rich as hell. Don't need to do
She don't
nothing.
need to. She might want to, though. She
Right,
might
she
want
might
to.
want to.
A lot of times they do it because they love it. They
Right,
don't really do it.
right.
I hope we do finally get to see the 4 horsewomen,
The original
4 horsewomen in AEW, and then they just jump Mercedes Moné just for storytelling reason.
I am down with that.
How many belts she got?
She got 4 right now.
It's killing them.
Killing them. And she is the number 1 contender at All In Texas, where me and Barbro will be at. But she is the number 1 contender to fight Toni Storm. So it's going to be incredible.
Make sure y'all get that shirt to Ricochet, though. I want to see that.
I love when he be like, yeah, and we going to do it. Like,
What's your faction, Coach?
all right, so when I read the question, when I got this question, I think I read it wrong. I heard it wrong. So I started going differently. But I thought we was going, like, what 2 factions would we want to see against each other that we were creating. And I like this one better, so let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and take the Samoan Werewolf. All right,
Jacob,
I gotta go with.
Turn your mic a little bit.
I gotta go with. Right there, we good.
Yeah.
Good. All right, the Samoan Werewolf is 1. I gotta throw up the 1. Gotta get Roman on there. I'm taking Oba. That's the wrong finger. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking Burn Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Damn.
And as the manager, man, what better manager to have run this squad than the one and only Coach DTM?
All right. So you the manager.
I'm the manager.
You not
Let's
even-
go.
you not even wrestling.
I'm the
I'm the manager. Let's go.
Okay.
I'll run this show.
Ryan T.
And my backup manager be MVP. But let's go.
Yeah, so he almost took my thunder a little bit.
I'm glad I went first.
Yeah. So
Talk about it.
I've talked about it before that I wanted to get into professional wrestling, and then circumstances happened. It didn't happen. So I would for sure be the manager of this faction. But I'm putting Trick and Mello back together.
Okay.
I'm bringing in Swerve. We all gonna have dreads. So and
The name.
then I'm bringing in Oba, and that's my faction with me as the manager.
Damn. Team niggas. I just said we gotta stop saying nigga. Damn it, I did it. God damn it.
What was that? 5 minutes into the show?
Right.
Failed. Just failed.
It was your question. What's your faction?
So I had Bobby and the boys reuniting, and I know he got the Hurt Syndicate, but I don't know why, but I liked it when it was him and the Street Profits. So I would have Bobby, the Street Profits, and then I would add 2 females, and I would pick Jade and Bianca, managed by the only guy you can have manage, the great Paul Heyman.
I was gonna pick Paul, but Paul
Am I the only one
slimy
with an
right now.
all-white team?
Yeah.
I'm a white guy.
I mean, you
I'm a white guy. I'm manager.
You white.
Damn.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
I think my team will win though.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Well, Oba is in mine too, so that's the problem.
So he's gonna have to get split personality.
Yeah,
He's gonna
split duty.
you get the less aggressive one.
It depends on who tag him in. Is who team you on. Like, I'm sorry, guys.
No, he gonna turn on both of y'all.
Right.
I am the ruler of my own. I rule myself.
Right. But staying on the topic of wrestling, Ron T, you got a topic for us for professional wrestling?
All right, well, we saw recently a terrible injury to Zoe Stark. And she's had her surgery. She's going through recovery right now. And there's been injuries throughout professional wrestling. So my question was, who was your favorite comeback story from injury and why?
Who want to go first? I'll start.
I'll go.
I'm
I'll
locked
go.
and loaded. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Every single time the man comes back, I'm excited to see him on my TV because he is a
Becky
part
Lynch?
of my Mount Rushmore, and that is Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Every single time.
Which one of them was your favorite?
Every single time he
Every
gets hurt.
single time.
Every single time he comes back. But I would definitely say that the recent one when he was his back was hurt for a year or two. Mm-hmm. To see him come back, I was like, oh yes.
Was it SummerSlam for War Games?
Yeah.
That RKO to JD that he did, and
That was crazy. That was
crazy.
Yeah, but Randy Orton be mine.
Randy Orton for Chuck. I'll go next. Mine's is one step higher, I think. You said who made an incredible comeback. God makes great people with the ability to come back. Mm-hmm. Then he makes even greater people who can fight within the storm when they're hurt. So I'm flipping it and saying this guy didn't even come back yet. He didn't even leave, but it was Cody Rhodes. The man tore his goddamn pec off of his chest. Still went into a match with one of the best in the world, held his own, and won. Then he left. And didn't even need to come back because he was coming back before he even came out.
It was definitely time.
How about it?
I was gonna say
He went a whole episode without it.
faction. I guess it had
He
to
went a
come
whole
out.
episode without it. It was definitely time to hear his voice.
My greatest comeback is a comeback that didn't even need to come back because he was still there.
Hey Ron, I was looking for him to put Cody in this group. I'm like, he would pick Cody.
Okay.
He's making progress.
Out the
Only for
curtain,
this to
lights
happen.
go up, I'm home. Whoa. All right. Coach.
I think one of the greatest comebacks to me was very emotional. I'm gonna go with probably Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be over for him, and he was like, "Nah, it can't be over." We kept it going, and to see him come back and do that, and
because he was very public about pushing to come back and and it would just look like, well, we'll make you the general manager.
He kept getting no.
Yeah.
No, you can't do it. No, you can't do it. And I like that. I like the perseverance. I like to see people like. It reminded me of me a lot because I don't really allow people to tell me no. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I only go to people who can tell me yes. Mm-hmm. So if all you know is no, I don't need to talk to you. I need to go, who got the yes? What a yes?
Who got the yes?
Who got the yes?
Where they handing out them yeses at?
What a yes is that? And that's what I like about that. It is.
Right.
So, yeah, Daniel will be mine.
Yeah, for Daniel Bryan, it sucked for me because I stepped away from wrestling and I came back at the tail end of Daniel Bryan. I'm like, who is this guy that they keep talking about? And then I was like, I got to see. Yeah, I got to see a couple. Got to see a couple matches, and then he couldn't wrestle anymore. I was like, oh man, that sucked. I didn't really get to see Daniel Bryan. So being able to see that the second time around and to see what he did in AEW afterwards, I have great respect for him. So that's a really good pick.
Definitely.
Now mine was actually Edge. Because we thought it was done. And it was a complete surprise at Royal Rumble. And then he won it. And for me, I remember thinking, oh, that's done. We'll never see Edge in the ring again. I actually teared up a little bit when he came out, and then just the look on his face and how the crowd reacted, and he was like, wow, people still remember. Like, of course, people still gonna remember him. And he's still doing it right now. So Edge was mine.
It's damn good pick.
Them neck injuries, man.
Yeah, because we got somebody who got a neck injury right now. He just got to do what we doing. You know what I'm saying? He broke up a whole group, and now he just got to do what we doing. Big E.
Oh, Big E?
Yeah, when, because I'm saying it's going to happen. When Big E comes back, that'll probably be mine.
Yeah,
but
so.
Until then.
Hey, my neck, bro. My freaking neck, bro. Come on.
But side note,
I got Kevin Owens on my list for when he come back.
Yeah, that'll be sweet.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be dope. Hopefully he do come back, man. That's a bad injury he got.
Man, you know what's crazy? Like,
it was
Kevin
still
Owens
wrestling with it too.
Exit. It's always like at the top of he already at the top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He at the top of his career type situation where everybody's tuning in like, what is he finna do next? Or he wearing this person's shirt? Or he doing, oh man, what is he finna?
Yep.
And then boom, injury.
That's how I go. You got another topic for us over there, professional wrestling? Was that Chuck or Ryan? One of y'all have one?
I think Chuck should have
another one.
I do, but it's stupid.
What?
Oh man, here you go.
Okay.
And it was a fantasy type thing. It was
You was right.
That's some dumb shit,
right? But if you could take 3 females and 3 males to represent the company, who do you think those 3 are? And that's AEW and WWE.
To represent the company.
You gotta say
3?
or. You gotta say AEW or WWE.
No, both.
Or using both, not like.
No, both.
Okay, I'm only gonna give you half because I don't really know too much about AEW.
It was more so for those who watch AEW.
Right.
Like if somebody was like,
No, I take it back.
What
you know
3
what?
males
I think
and
you
what 3
can.
females?
what 3 males and what 3 females?
I don't think I
represent
could
the
do 3
company.
men. I think I could do just 3 all together.
Yeah.
I was about to say the people who like, if you don't watch the show, right? Like if you don't watch AEW, but I can name 3 people.
Right.
Obviously, they have to be somewhat of the face of the company because
Because they reach you.
Yeah,
they reach you. Yeah.
So
The reason
they
I was
reaching
asking
the-
that because I remember in music, a lot of times people be like, "Oh, you should check out so and so." I'll be like, "All right, well, give me 3 songs from them."
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "All right, if this is your company, and all these wrestlers," and he'd be like, somebody was like, "All right, well, give me 3 wrestlers to look up to watch their matches." What 3 wrestlers would I tell them to look up?
So
I
AEW
would
definitely
say-
gonna say Monet.
If we talking about 3 women, yeah.
I mean, just people. Period. I ain't gonna go.
I say we just do 3 all together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mercedes
far
definitely
as
got to be
AEW?
there.
Mercedes.
So I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna do 1 person from AEW, 1 person from WWE, and I'll do 1 person from Ring of Honor. That's what I'll tell you.
I think that's damn better. That's a better question than his shit. I like that question.
Hey, but that was a layup, though, Chuck. You got the
like I
assist.
said, mine came due to the fact, like I said, I was talking to somebody and they was like, "You in this wrestling stuff, what 3 wrestlers would you recommend me to watch?" And I'm like, "All right," and I was like, "I'm gonna bring that to you guys," but I was like, "All right," if somebody was like, "This is WWE." What 3 women and or what 3 males? Like just 3.
And or okay.
Let me start
You know
off
what
with
I'm saying?
AEW.
Yeah.
This
My
represents-
3 who I would, if somebody asked me, what 3 should I watch from AEW? Number 1 is the heart and soul of AEW, which is Jon Moxley. I think he is just, everybody like, oh, you a WWE guy? Hell no, fucking
he's
no,
not.
he ain't. He is AEW. I don't even look at his WWE career no more. But Jon Moxley for 1. For 2,
It's 2 different characters. Dean Ambrose
it's
and
2
Jon
different
Moxley
characters.
are
Yeah,
2
so
different
Jon
characters.
Moxley is 1. 2 would have to be Will Ospreay. He just the best wrestler on the planet. And 3, you said Mercedes, but Timeless Tony Storm just represents AEW a little more. A year from now, Sasha could pass her or Mercedes, but right now it's Timeless Tony Storm, Will Ospreay, Jon Moxley. Have a good day.
And I'm with you with the Jon Moxley, and I'm with you with the I'm not with you with the other two. I'm with you with Mercedes. Only because, like I said, I'm a person who casually watch, right?
Right.
But the reason that I watch is because of those two names that snatched me in. Like, whoa, that was dope. Let me see what this all about. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, okay, I could rock with this.
What three should represent WWE then for you?
WWE at this moment, it would have to be.
Let's be respectful too.
The Samoan Werewolf.
Let's be respectful when we do this.
I'm gonna be super respectful. I can't even say. I want to say Roman, but I can't say Roman because he ain't really. His storyline is kind of mute at the moment,
right
Facts.
right? Of course, I would love to say LA Knight, but he don't really have a storyline currently for real, right? So I would definitely have to go with the Samoan Werewolf.
That's what I mean.
You know, that's not how I said it. You know, that's what he said, right? Let me see, the Samoan Werewolf. This whole Naomi and Jade thing, I would love to see where that was going to go. So I would name one of them. I probably wouldn't name both.
Right.
And then Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
With
That's
the
not a
build
bad
up of what
list.
Seth got going on.
That's not a
NXT
bad
man.
list.
Okay, so NXT, shoot, they about to leave. Most of them.
Right, they all fired.
Yeah, no, not that they fired. It's just they all, like all of the ones that were the face, current face, have all been called up because
Right,
Stephanie
right.
Vicure just left. She would have been the one. So now down in NXT, Trick Williams. Also for the women's, I would say watch Tatum Paxley. She's the next up, I believe, and Jada Parker. Like we've said it before, the men in NXT right now have a identity crisis because you only got two really big male figures down there, which is Oba or Trick. So it's Trick, Jada Parker, and Tatum Paxley, I would say, for NXT right now.
Wow, I had a different three for my NXT.
For Ring of Honor, I can only think of one person that stands out is Athena.
Yeah,
Because she's like the face.
That's all you need.
Yeah,
that
she's
one
the face.
Is 1, 2, and 3.
And for
NXT.
SCW, I can only
Hold on,
think
let me
about
do that. Let me try to get them
Oh,
because it
Pe-
was out of my
hey!
head.
Shout out Pepper Pride.
What up, Pep?
SCW.
Yeah.
SCW, Pep.
For AEW, Swerve and Hangman, just that story and the evolution of their story, becoming enemies.
A few months ago, I think I would've
first
went with that one.
competitors,
Yeah.
then enemies. Now they're have mutual respect, and it's like so that whole storyline.
And they might, as of next week, they might be team. You never know. You never know.
And for the woman in AEW, I would have to say Toni Storm too. I have to say Toni Storm too. And for WWE, Seth Rollins. The women's, I gotta give Roxanne Perez is the one to watch right now.
Facts.
And another male, I would say, or screw it, another woman, Stephanie Vicure. Is the one to watch. So
Facts.
That's
Facts.
the one you hate, right?
Different one for NXT.
No,
though.
I
Okay.
like Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
I like
NXT.
I like
I had
Stephanie.
Soul
it's Lyra you don't
So
like.
Ruka. Oh yeah,
Lyra.
no, definitely.
Lyra's
Soul
you don't
It's not
like.
even that I don't like
Was
her.
she related?
Almost hate her. Almost hate her.
Who?
Lyra.
Lyra.
This close to like hating her. You know, so it's just getting bad.
Yeah.
Mine, I told Ron, mine for NXT was a female with Soul Ruka.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
soul
definitely.
snatcher off. Come on, man, off the top rope. What?
Anybody watching Soul Snatcher, they're gonna be fans. They're gonna be like, what the what? Did you see what she
It's
did?
so many people
It's like
to
the
choose
RKO
in the
on
women's
steroids.
division, though. It's so many people to choose in
Think
the
I'm going
women's
too far?
division.
That's nice. That's a nice
It's
description.
a RKO on
That's a
steroids.
nice description.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So you said
shout out.
Sol Ruka and who else?
I had Soul Ruka. I had Tatum Paxley. And I got Oba Femi.
That's not a
Okay.
bad 3. Not a bad 3 at all.
I think Lola Vice's stock has dropped
You
a little
said
bit.
Trick. Is he technically NXT? He's the
Is he
TNA champion right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he might represent TNA.
That's true.
You know, well, let's see. We'll see.
What about WWE for you, Chuck?
For me, it would be Cody Rhodes, Braun Breaker, and Io Sky.
Yeah.
At the face or who you like?
That's just who if I'm
If
like
you
right now.
recommended it to somebody,
I'm recommending
watch
it
these
right
three.
now. Like as of right now, those are the three that's
And you watched enough murder mystery wrestling for AEW.
Right.
Tony Storm. I always say his name wrong, but he guy just joined the Hurt Business. I mess his initials up.
MJF.
Yeah.
MJF. Last time I said MJR.
He's always funny.
But MJF.
Yeah. It's always more fun.
And of course, when I drive,
Yeah, swerve. Yeah.
Before we hit our mental health topics, there's a couple of little breaking news things I want to talk about. First off, John Laurinaitis is in the news lately because he has agreed with the district attorney to go on trial against
He found out how
Vince McMahon.
He found how much prison time he was facing. Was like,
Yes. So
I
now
don't like him.
Vince's right-hand man will be on the the prosecution side.
Yeesh.
How do you guys feel about John Laurinaitis turning his back on his lifelong friend, Vincent Kennedy McMahon? Ron T, your thoughts?
I think it's wild because he was in the mix of it. You did it. You did the crime. You do the time with him. You supposed to ride out with it. That's what you're supposed to do.
Like, I know we did the drive-by, but I was just in the back seat. I was just there. I didn't know he was gonna be doing it.
He said all I did was just drive. He told me we was driving to the corner store. I
Right.
was just driving.
I don't know how to feel about this because the last time, when we all watched the little documentary, we seen how somebody gets put on the trial against Vince. Turns out, his boy Hogan doesn't go right because somehow they tell the truth, but it's like they word the truth like it's. Well, I mean, he may have. I just didn't see it myself.
Right. Oh man, how you feel about it, Coach?
Man, y'all automatically assume that just because he's going to jail on the stand that he's actually going to tell the truth.
That's what I said. That's what I feel
So
like.
here's the thing. We've learned, and I know everybody watched this trial.
Yeah.
My man Lil Woody got on the trial, and you could say he told, or you could say he just went into retard mode. You could say whatever the case you want to say.
Right.
But it worked out for the better of everybody for him to do it the way he did. It's always the way around it. You want me to tell? All right, I can understand.
Right.
What, was Abe there? Was Abe there? Hey, was you there? Right. Like, you gotta ask. You just gotta. You finna put on the show.
Right.
You finna put on the show, Caucasian style.
Now that
He about to tell everything around it. That they don't implement anybody to make everybody look.
I didn't see Vince do it, but I will tell you
Did
this.
you see Vince do it? So on Saturday, when me and Linda was eating lunch and talking about this script, Vince called and said, I got an idea about this wrestling for Thursday. But on Tuesday, and then on Friday night, we shot the film. It was a great show.
there's always ways around it.
It's a way around it. I just don't.
I can tell the truth and just not talk about that.
Yeah.
Now, this was a good segue for me to our mental health topic because one of my topics that I wanted to talk about with mental health is kind of something just like this, and that is blood thicker than water? You get that term a lot now where they be like, oh, family is this, family is everything. And we can even attribute it to what's going on right now in the bloodline. There's a little tension between Jacob Fatu and Solo because he like, JC Mateo, he cool, but he ain't family. And a lot of people put a lot of weight on this is my blood. But me personally, my water has been thicker than my blood in my life. You know what I mean? There are a few drips of blood that were strong. But overall, my water, and when I look at my life, my water is my strong, man. My friends, our community, our Holy Shhh Podcast community, a lot of those people are just close in my life now. So I just wanted y'all thoughts on that. And are we insulting our families by saying that? Like I don't feel like I have a bad family. I got a great family, but I'm just, the older I get, the less close I am with them.
If we learn anything from Dominic Toretto, no, I'm joking. I think like people do get. Just because somebody is your blood does not mean that they're family, if that makes sense.
Right.
You can choose your family, as Dominic Toretto says, but you choose your community around you. I do have cousins that I'm close with, and I have cousins that I'm not close with, not because of anything that they've done. It's probably an age difference or something like that. But I'll have friends. I feel like I'm closer to my friends and the people that I interact with every day than I am with a lot of my family members. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I know a lot of people that have family members that take advantage. So, it can be. You can have some family members that you're really close with, but then you can have family members that you don't mess with because they're not good for you. And you don't have to subject yourself to certain people just because they're blood.
Damn good point. Damn good point.
I think also your one you choose. Even some of my friends, I technically didn't choose them. It just can't get rid of them.
I'm sorry, Chuck. I'm sorry.
I'm looking at Ron. I've been trying to get rid of him for years. I've known him for more than half my life. No, but friends is like you choose your friends, but I believe you choose your friends. Originally, I used to always say, probably gonna get longer in here, but usually I remember when I was young, you meet your friends off trauma, or your first few group of friends is from who you live in your neighborhood. Your next group of friends is when you go to school, you start linking all traumas or other stuff y'all into, and you start narrowing what am I selecting you for, to where when you select friends now, it's like, all right, look, I'm this age, I ain't got time for the bull. Either you here or you ain't. And they look at you the same way, and y'all figure it. You figure out similarities.
You be
figure
able
out
to sift through the BS, basically.
Just like I was telling this guy at my work, my guy at my job, I was like,
What was that?
I realized how disrespectful my friend group is. Because I'm like, literally, I can call them and be like, the fuck you doing, bitch? And they be like, oh, I ain't doing shit, punk ass. Like, the insults just keep flying. But it's like, if somebody else would have said that, I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
But it's my friend. That's my day one. I know he don't mean no. He just saying it just to be an idiot. And then with family, it's like family would never let you disrespect them like that. I got aunts to this day. You might slip up and be like, hey Carol, you called me Aunt Carol. You like, damn, like Aunt Carol, like. But it's like, me and my cousins had this conversation a while back. But we was like, our grandfather raised us to all be together. Our uncles and aunts keep preaching, we got to come together. We got to come together. But me and my cousins, you got to plan like months ahead for all of us to be at one location. Even then, half of us not gonna be there. And they be like, y'all wasn't raised like that. Y'all was raised to. Always, remember the picture with all the kids in the one room with all the sleeping bags? We was raised like that, but I was like, the difference is y'all brothers and sisters, y'all have to be around each other. We don't have to. I can not talk to her and or him and be fine for months. Because in my head, I love you, but I don't have similar interests like my friends do. Yeah. Me and my friends have bonded off similar interests. Me and you have bonded off the fact that we're related. Yeah. And we don't have none of the same likes or dislikes, to where it's like, why do I want to even be around you? Like, I got a cousin, he owed me money. I can't stand him, but I love him. If he need me, I'm there. But I'm like, bro, like, he is so polar opposite of me. I'm like, you irk me just being around you. But I love the shit out of you. And if you need me, I'm there. Like, I'm only one call away, but I'm not trying to hang out with him on, like if he called me and was like, hey, we going bowling. For what? who else coming?
To knock down pins, nigga.
He said, who all gonna be there?
Like, what other cousin? Then you start asking which other cousins coming.
Right.
Oh, I invited so-and-so. I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with them.
I ain't gonna be there.
And he I ain't coming.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they do the same thing with me. Who coming? Oh, I invited so-and-so and so-and-so. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it. I don't know.
But if your friends call you and say, we're going such and such, you don't even ask who all gonna be there.
WrestleMania,
Oh yeah,
nigga.
let's go.
I'll be there.
Hey, no shade. Hey was like, going to wrestling. All right. I didn't ask him who was coming. I didn't ask him. He just was like, wrestling here this date.
Okay.
Trying to get tickets. All right, I'm down.
Yep.
So we getting a little bit of idea of blood and water. Your take on it.
All right, so I'm gonna be all over the place a little bit. There's a drug called anticoagulant.
What?
Oh,
So
okay.
anticoagulant is a pill that you would take that actually thinnens the blood.
It did before surgery.
Right. So if you got blood clot, they give you this to thinning your blood. So it depends on the person who's taking the medication and who's not, whether or not your blood is thinner or thicker than water. All right. That's just scientifically talking right there from the medication
we got the
standpoint.
science part.
Now,
That's the bar.
I have a saying about the deep sea. If you guys know about the deep sea, it's called the deep sea because it takes in, but it never puts out. I try to stay away from deep sea people because I don't want you to continue to take, and never give, right? So when you speak about the phrase "family is thicker than water," family blood is thicker than water.
Right.
Stick with your family, et cetera, et cetera.
Some family is thicker than water, they fat asses, but go ahead.
They would ever laugh like that. But it's crazy that this topic comes up because my wife and I were just having this conversation last week, I think it was, where in life, man, you enjoy the choices that you get to pick, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about friends, you pick the friend. Your family was given to you, so they feel obligated to have to be around you. They feel obligated to like you. They feel obligated to because of the title that they have. But you get to select your wife or your husband. You get to select your the person you're gonna have kids with, right? Which means ultimately you select your kid. You get to select your friends. You get to select your job. So you get the ability to say, I like this or I don't like this. And if you don't like it, you can leave. You can't really leave family.
Right.
So this is why the water, is actually better because our body is 90% of water. You know what I mean? So it's actually better for us to live when we have the right friend group that we with, right? Somebody who we can lean on, somebody we can talk to, somebody who we can help, and you know they're going to help you. You ain't even got to think about it. You go out to eat, and the bill drop on the table, you almost fighting to pay the bill. I got this. Don't worry about it. Good.
Right,
you know,
right.
Where are those friends at? 'Cause-
You know, not the one. And then you got the people who try to slide in there, right, and pretend to be that, but it shows real quick. It shows real quick. So for me, it's a family member I can't stand. I told you, my family looked at me. I told you last episode. My grandma looked at me, who was the head of the family almost, and was like, I can't stand you. I hate you for no reason. So that set the precedent.
Yeah.
That, this ain't that. Let me go find somebody who do love me for me.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know what I mean? So.
Definitely. Let's keep this mental health thing going. I know you had a topic for us, Coach.
Oh yeah, you know I keep
He
a
stay
topic.
with
I
mental
am
health.
mental health,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm
He
He
saying?
said if you turn to
mentally
chapter, you gonna go to his book. When you turn to chapter 3,
There it is. All right, so with men, I'm not gonna say this now. It was very big on you controlling your vulnerability. Right? You couldn't be vulnerable with a lot of people, if anybody. You know, you had to put on a specific image, etc. So my question is, when was the last time that you felt safe enough to be fully vulnerable, and who created the space for you?
Ooh, that's a deep one.
Come on, I get in. That's what I do. Yo.
Pause.
That's what I do. Yo. On both of those, I get in, and that's a deep one. Like, pause on all
Last
that.
time you were vulnerable and who created that space for you to feel that way.
When was the last time you felt safe enough to be fully vulnerable?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So me and my wife started doing couples therapy some years ago, and I suggest anybody that is in a marriage that want it to work, do that. And don't wait till it gets bad
That's
to
what
do
I tell
it.
people all the time.
Just do it, because having a deeper understanding of your mate is like crucial, so you don't trigger each other, and just so you can understand each other a lot more. So we have been doing it for years, and we kind of just come back and, she get on my nerves for this or he get on my nerves for that, and, like nitpicking stuff. And then we started to get deep into what the main issue really was. And we had a session, I want to say maybe 4 months ago, that we really dove into stuff in our childhood. And a lot of stuff started to click, like, oh, now I didn't even put this to that. And we really got to talking about stuff that I dealt with my childhood. Like we talked about last episode with me and my father. And then we got to dive in with stuff with me and my mom. And then I was able to reveal a whole lot more with the therapist as a mediator to help navigate the thoughts with my wife to a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I was dealing with. And it just opened up like the door for healing a lot. And, I cried she got to talk about stuff for her, and she cried, and then we just felt better afterwards. And it's we've been kind of smooth sailing ever since.
That's dope.
So
That's dope.
Thank you for sharing, Ron.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for sharing, Ryan. Thank you. Whenever I get some trauma from Ryan, I feel appreciated.
I know, bro. Like, listen, for like months.
Not saying I won't bad on
For
you.
months,
but-
everything was awesome. And I was like, I want Ron's life. He don't go through shit.
When I was thinking about question, Ron was the person who came to mind because I was like, I know everybody else to tap in. What do I know Ron has dealt with? I know for a fact everybody has dealt with certain things in life. What can I get?
yeah, I mean, I've had, like I said, when you're a twin, there's always one popular twin, and there's one that's always in the shadow. So I was not the popular twin.
I brought up shadow question. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So you were the nerd.
Kind of.
Sweet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sweet.
You want to go, Chuck, or you want me to go first?
You go.
All right. The last time I'm be honest, I ain't never fucking vulnerable. I am cursed.
Lies.
I am cursed with the man up syndrome.
Even with your daughter?
Yeah, especially with her, to be quite honest. I try to be strong for her so that she know what type of man to look for.
I like that you said that because that is the misconception that men have.
Yep.
Is that being vulnerable is not being strong.
Mm-hmm.
When
I'm
it
cursed
actually
with it.
it's the other way around. Being vulnerable is actually a state of being strong.
I think that was the part that broke my mom and my dad's marriage up the most because he didn't know how to really be vulnerable. But then my mom was also not susceptible to being the safe space for him to be vulnerable. So
I don't know how to be vulnerable, but I have adjusted, and the people who come around me who are, I make them comfortable. I'm not that type of man up. If you come in and you crying,
is you crying? There's
I'll
no
be here for
crying
you.
in baseball.
We
No.
can figure it out. But I just haven't. But I have been vulnerable lately, and where that is my sons. I know I talked about this a couple of times. My sons, they both have autism, and when I'm in those spaces in their school, like a parent thing where all the parents get together with all the kids. Lately, I find that is the most vulnerable I've been, just because we all go through the same thing. All those parents, we all go through the same thing. We all have kids with autism. We understand the struggle, and I could just let my guard down and be like, say something crazy that only they would understand. That I can't even begin to like come to y'all. Not saying there's something wrong with y'all.
Because if you said something like the way you feel, people will look at you like, how could dare you say?
Or they say something stupid. Oh, my kid don't talk. Have you got him in the speech? No, he's in a wine cellar in the basement. I haven't got him in the speech. What the fuck do you think? Like, you'd be surprised the shit people say when you tell them you got autism kids. They'll tell you the basicest shit. Like, you should read to them at night. Okay, I'm going to smack you, bitch. But anyway, in that space when I'm around those parents, that is the most vulnerable. I feel so free, man. And it's been happening a lot lately because I've been volunteering at a school and going up there. So to me, and those teachers and those families, they create that space. They are understanding. They know what you're going through. And even, especially the teachers in the ABA therapy, they are really good at understanding.
Man, that takes
you going through something.
That takes parents with kids with autism takes a certain type of patience that you probably didn't even know you had.
One key thing
Make you tap into it.
Yeah, we were talking about in our last discussion. We had a parent group meeting, and this was our topic: regular parents. Y'all get to hit the off button, whereas you remember when your mama came home. I just cooked dinner. I'm done. Don't ask me nothing.
Yeah.
Y'all on y'all own. There is no that. I can't even sleep heavy at night because I have to listen for the toilet if my boys get up and flush too much toilet paper, because that's happened before.
Yeah.
And the whole basement done flooded because we sleep. You can't have a fan on loud because you got to listen. It's no off button unless somebody else is taking care of them.
Yeah.
Shut up. You're getting some gargle in your mic there, sir. Your sleep apnea is kicking in live on this podcast.
I think that's a vulnerable moment. Talk
That
about
is
it.
a vulnerable moment. You just fell asleep until a live show. Go right
Talk
ahead.
about it. Again.
He was meditating. He was resting his eyes, guys.
Ever sleep up and play the game? I'm always vulnerable. And the last time I felt vulnerable was on my birthday. Had me the conversation with my mom and my aunt. And my mom was telling me how proud she was of me of sticking to this. Like I said last episode, sticking to downsizing of how much I blow money, of just really putting myself on a spending limit on how much I'm allowed to spend, and paying bills and paying off my bills and paying credit cards more than what I'm supposed to, so I can
Pay it off sooner without the interest and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like I should be out of credit card debt and paid off the pay myself back because I took a loan
Out of 401k.
out of my 401k, but both of those should be paid up in August.
Oh, nice.
And then after I get me a new vehicle, then I should work on getting a new house. So my mom was telling me how proud she was of me, and my aunt was telling me, like.
So they created the space for you to feel vulnerable.
I don't know. I just kind of start talking, and they just said they.
Yeah, but they created space because you felt safe enough to even do it.
Well, I
Exactly.
always feel safe around my mom, so I can talk to her about anything, even when and my mom's a fan of all my music, even the even the wild shit.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "You getting too nasty here," or like I got one song I was just like cussing up a storm. She was like, "You could tone that back." Another person I feel safe with is certain people I work with.
Mhm.
I can talk to them about anything. We used to have a prayer group. Most of us are broke, but I still keep in contact and just text and call them. Certain friends I can just call and talk to about certain shit. And then my youngest daughter, man. I'll text her sometimes just because I don't really feel like talking.
Mm-hmm.
I think she just has a sixth sense because I'll just text all of them like, just checking on you, love you. And the rest of them will text back. Not my youngest. My youngest will FaceTime me. Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm just no, you're going to talk to me. So what's been going on? Are you good? I said, damn, she got me. She got me again. Mm-hmm. That's my baby. But yeah, man, just like I said, especially because I had to open up a while back and let people know that all the shit that I go through. So a lot of my friends and family members are already on. I don't want to say on guard of. I might be feeling a certain way, but just they're already on. They already know if I'm calling them for a reason. I'm not just calling just.
Yeah.
Well, some friends I just call to check on, but they know if I'm calling, I'm calling because
You need to talk.
I'm in my head and it's like, are you good? I'm be like, oh, I'm just calling for some shit. They'll be like, all right, cool. Just if you need to talk, I'm like, I'm good. But it's like I've like I told y'all before, I've built that up with my community to where they know when I'm calling for certain things.
Yeah.
So everybody knows to kind of open it up and make a safe space.
I wish I could be vulnerable. I don't know. It's
About you.
can't.
So I do, when I do my coaching sessions, a lot of times I like to do what they call a DISC assessment. The DISC assessment helps me break down you and how you are and why you do what you do and how you think the way you think, right? And based off of just a couple of things that you said, I'm not 100% sure, but I see you as a high D, right? The letters are DISC, which mean that you got a fear of being seen as vulnerable or being taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. So at some point, maybe when you were younger, you may have tried to be vulnerable and felt like you've been taken advantage of, which is why you said no more. I'm not doing it no more. Now I put the wall up over my vulnerability, right? So you're probably more so driven by winning, competition, and just being successful.
Definitely. I think what it came from with me was not wanting to be vulnerable. I love my mom. Great woman. But my dad not being around, she became a little too tough sometimes. You know what I mean? So if I came in a room like, Mom, I'm feeling sad today. You a little bitch. Man, the fuck. I'm so used to that mentality. And I don't regret it though. I hear a lot of people who live like that and they get older and be like, I'm actually happy that I don't have that tool to where emotion breaks me down and I just figure it out. So that is definitely, you're right. That is where it comes from. Because when I was a kid, I used to come in with little goofy shit. And my mom, shut the fuck up, nigga.
Listen, for those who don't know, me and Abe went to high school together years and years and years ago, back in the 1900s. And
1900s.
And
She didn't say it like that, but I'm just saying.
nah, yeah, she's very
exaggerating.
stern.
I'm exaggerating, but that's
Mom very stern.
yeah,
That's what
it's
I
like,
like
you know,
about it. She like,
it's
we're not
black
doing
and white.
that. Yeah.
Ain't no rainbow.
Yeah. So for me, man, I would say me being vulnerable, my first time that I was ever vulnerable was probably with my wife. And that was me breaking down the things that I've been through. And this was just me on the verge of possibly losing her. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, look, this is what I go through in my head. We've been together all these years. I've never been able to tell anybody because I come up from a world where you sweep it under the rug and it's no more. You don't see it, it didn't happen. It ain't there no more, right? So me telling her was a way to be like, I kind of like the fact that I got this off me. You know what I'm saying? Got that weight up off me. And now she can see me in a different light and it helped me grow, right? And the results that I've seen from her allow me now to be vulnerable on a regular basis.
She can see you
with
as
everybody.
as everybody is a flawed human being, and she won't put you up on this pedestal like you're supposed to be this, that, and this, and if you're not this, you're a failure. She can see you as, all right, this is why this happened, and let's work through it. That's dope though.
Yeah, and so she actually showed me like, be vulnerable. So I'll be vulnerable with everybody, anybody. That's why, like, as a coach, the first thing I tell you is most of my flaws first. Just so that when you sitting next to me and you telling me what you're going through, you're not feeling like, I'm telling somebody who's perfect, so he's not going to understand. No, we've been through this, and this, and that. I think I've coached over 100 couples in a span of maybe 2 years, right? Only one has actually said something to me that I haven't been through the way they've been through it. So, like, I've been through it, but not to the capacity that they did.
Right.
So even with that, I was able to like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what we went through, and we're gonna fix it that way, and it worked out.
Any couple told you something where you was like,
yeah,
man,
yeah. I was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming.
I don't know.
Pogo stick up your ass. What?
I want to ask a question based off of that because this is just some observation. A lot of people. Some get with people that are complete opposites for different reasons, but some people usually try to find people similar to them. Like, you know, when you date and you find people with the same hobbies and likes and interests and everything else. You and your wife are complete night and day. So is that the reason why you mentally maybe you was drawn to her because the stuff that you can't be, she can be for your kids?
That's 1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
1,000%. We learned that through, like you said, counseling.
stairs?
Yeah.
Counseling. Went through counseling. And that's where we learned, like, we are two opposites, but, like, I'm like you. I'm not a talky person.
Yeah.
But I got my wife because she's a professional talky person.
Man.
You know what I mean? So she can do
Talky,
all
talky.
that. Yeah,
That's
she's a professional talky.
That's why your wife and my wife get along so much because they the same.
And I'm not like that. And then we play a lot of good cop, bad cop in our household. So you're 1,000% right. And our core is we both have the same dream. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
a lot of
got the same end goal.
a lot of issues we have, I look past them because I know the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, we on the same path. We just gotta figure it out, get back on course. Because
Yeah.
it ain't like you trying to be a dentist and I'm trying to be this. We trying to be the same goddamn thing. Let's just focus.
I'm
and
a Christian, you an atheist.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny because you were talking about sweeping stuff under the rug, and as a kid, the visual representation of why you shouldn't sweep anything under the rug. If y'all remember the Cat in the Hat, at the end when he had to clean up the house and he put there and you saw the mounds of stuff underneath. I'm like, you still gonna see it. You can sweep it under the rug and act like it's not there, but you can still see these mounds and stuff. So that always stuck with me as a kid. So whenever I got to a point to where you think, okay, let's sweep it under the rug, I remember the Cat in the Hat, and I'm like, oh no, they gonna find out.
I'm a professional sweeper. I cut a hole in the floor, then sweep it.
No, what I used to do was I used to sweep it under the rug, but I'm going to even it out up under the rug. You know what I'm saying? So it just feel regular. And that's why I was able to go so long. But so like when I was coming up, my mom and them was like, my dad, everybody, what happens in this house?
Yeah.
Stay in this house.
Yeah, that's the old school
Right?
thought thing.
And that's the dumbest thing I ever heard now. You know what I'm saying? Like I think of it now from a perspective. I'm spiritual, right? God blesses us through people.
Yeah.
If you keep pretending to be a certain person, how do I know you're the one I'm supposed to bless?
Yep.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So
How do I know you need a money blessing when you ain't talking about you struggling?
yeah, you over there, you talking about, oh, I'm about to go get the new Bentley and I'm about to go get this and I just bought these shoes. They was $800.
Yeah.
I think some of the biggest blessings that ever happened to me is because I was just like, man, I'm tired of acting like everything is good. Let me talk.
Right.
And then somebody happened to be in their room. They're like, yo, talk to me afterwards. And they've helped me solve an issue.
It's
Because
funny,
I
it's funny
felt
you
like
say
talking.
that because I bought 3 pairs of shoes one time, and my neighbor was like, "Oh, you got it like that." I'm like, "Man, I'm hurting right now." He's like, "Yeah, okay, right." And then he came over like a week later. He was like, "What's up, big shoe man?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "Why did you buy 3 pairs of shoes?" I was like, because I knew they was gonna sell and I needed the money. He was like, "Oh, you was really down." I'm like, "Yeah, I bought them as an investment because I remember it was like a shoe that I knew everybody was about to buy." I was like, "Granted, I do have a large shoe collection, but them 3 shoes weren't for me. Those was
To sell to get a
sell
profit.
to get ahead."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "That's why I've always I tell my kids, don't assume shit. Ask."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because assumptions will make you have you look like a dumbass or have you looking stupid because you're assuming something without having the knowledge. I asked this woman, I think we was on TikTok. Yeah, we was on TikTok live, and I asked one of the female wrestlers, "How old are you?" And she was like, "You can't guess. I don't guess, and nor do I assume, because assuming is gonna make me look stupid. That's why I'm asking for information." She didn't tell me, but I was just like, I just try not to assume because I can assume something about you. I'm gonna be dead wrong because I don't know your life. I don't know your story.
Yeah.
As opposed if I can be like, "Hey, coach, this," you'd be like, "Oh no, this." I'm like, okay.
So
Didn't know
the message that you can take from this right here is don't pretend to be something that you're not.
Don't do it.
Because you're blocking your blessing. If you
Definitely.
broke down on the side of the road and you just sitting in the car on your phone, everybody going to keep passing you by because they think you smooth. But if your hood is up and you standing out there hoping, trying to figure something out, somebody going to stop by and say, "What's going on? You good? You need a jump? You need me to push you? What's going on?" You know what I mean? So stop pretending.
We running out of time here, but one thing I want to say, because I think somebody out there need to hear this, because a lot of people be like, you need to be vulnerable, you need to cry, you need to do more things. And when I was in counseling, like you were saying with my wife, I was in counseling. Our first few months, that's all they kept telling me. You need to be vulnerable. You need to be vulnerable. You need to cry. You need to be more emotional. And then we reached this point of where we got to ask, what do I want in life? And they was like, what do you want in life? And I broke it down to them. I want like a moment. I watch great men, Shawn Michaels, when he won the belt, he held that belt and he broke down. He was like one of the strongest people. When Michael Jordan, when his daddy died and he won a title, he held that title and he cried. When I could name so many strong men who I looked up to and they didn't cry until they achieved something. And a lot of times, all the times, that's my number one goal in life. I want to reach the finish line. I don't know what it is, of whether it's us with the podcast being successful or my media career. I just want to get to that line and I want to cry. I don't want the money. I don't want the fame. I just want to in myself have that moment to be like, it's okay to just fucking let it all go now. And then when she heard it from that standpoint, she said, you are a rare person. So maybe crying, it actually not crying helps you build that fire in you to where I'm going to release it the right way. So it is some people out there, and that's just all I want. Or am I crazy? Am I hurting myself?
No, but I will say this. Never forget where you started.
Right.
Because in other words, when you get to that moment, when it's time to cry, if you don't remember where you started, because you just so focused looking forward,
right.
You never just glance back to see how far you, because you can look back now and look and be like, damn, I've made this much progress from this. And you might get a little choked up. You're like, it ain't time yet. Because I was going to say, like, Ray Lewis was like, I didn't cry at my Super Bowl. I didn't cry at this. I didn't cry at this. He said, but now looking at my brother and my mother sit here looking at me do my Hall of Fame speech. And he broke down like 5 times in that speech. But he was like, during the greatest moments of my life, kid's birth, all this stuff, I was too busy looking forward. I didn't think about nothing. But now that I'm sitting here looking at my life, my kids is here, my brother's here, my mom, everybody's here, and now I'm looking at where I started.
Right.
Then he broke down. Like he was like, "Damn!" Like I was so tunnel vision. I didn't take the moments to be like, "Oh, I won this."
That's it, man.
That was like that little kid that asked The Rock, "What do you do for fun?" And he was just like, wow, what do I? And he had like, I don't enjoy my life right now. I'm just so busy
Right.
trying to
Abe-
accomplish.
I really don't. I'm the
Abe
same
is a
way.
person
Yeah.
who I've seen it on multiple occasions. You will set a goal, and as soon as you get almost kind of close to it, the goal changes to something further.
It will.
And it goes further. So if you're waiting on that moment, it's going to be a Ray Lewis moment when you're standing up there retired and looking back like, oh, man, my daughter had 6
I hope it
kids.
comes. That's all I want in life,
But,
man.
Yeah,
Hey,
it'll
I'm
That
saying-
valve to
saying?
open up.
What I'm saying for him, it might not even be. He might miss like I'm walking my daughter down the aisle moment. It might not be till he got grandkids to be like, damn, I just realized my daughter got married. Like, you didn't notice that? I know she was married, but I was like,
Yeah, I cry all
What's
the time.
next?
Sometimes I just said that some people need not to cry because it's a fuel for
No,
them.
you
Yeah.
don't.
It's a fuel. It's a fuel.
I get it.
Don't be like me.
I cry all the time.
My eyes just be watering sometimes. I'll be like sitting here like, damn, stop.
Right. Any plugs before we get out of here?
Most
Merch.
Merch.
We have merch. Go get merch.
Yes, sir.
Y'all don't understand. Like I keep saying it. It's not because I just want y'all to buy merch, which I do. But it helps us do more stuff. It helps us do more for y'all. So go get the merch. Help us any way you can. We
I would
appreciate
say
it.
Right.
my plug is that I had my first performance in like almost a year and a half. We got footage coming for that. So
Check it
just
out.
Keep
Go on
looking out
page
for
right
it.
now.
Oh yeah. Since May is over, and I believe it should be out by now. But Therapy, my new project.
Coming soon.
Coming soon, man. The book is still out, man. Amazon's going wild. We did get a platform. They sent me a 2,000 books sold award in 1 month. So
Nice.
let's keep it
Congratulations.
going, man. I appreciate all the love and support from everybody. We're going to keep it going. Next book is on the way. Already completed. Just trying to wait. You know what I mean? So we're going to get it going.
Which way though?
A good date. It's ready. I just got to get a date to drop it. I wanted this book to kind of finish doing what it's going to do.
What's your favorite
and I'll
number?
Add to it, 12. Because my birthday on the 12th.
June 12th.
Yeah.
Drop it in. There we go.
And as far as the show, the last thing we want to plug, for the show is lately we've been blending everything together. You get AEW, you get WWE, but it's some goddamn serious hate out here. So we are starting new pages and new divisions. There will be an exclusive Holy Shit AEW, exclusive Holy Shit WWE.
It's that bad?
It's that bad. It is that bad. We have to separate this shit. So if you see on one page me, Ball Bro, and a slew of guests, and then our regular stuff we do here, that's all it is. It's not a separating. We're not breaking up. We're just trying to make peace in this shit.
It's
all right?
pro wrestling.
It's pro
wrestling is
wrestling.
wrestling.
Hey, look, I love my soap operas and I love my murder mysteries. Okay,
Right.
I love my
Jesus
SCW.
SCW. Shout out SCW.
Hey, pipe.
Yeah. But
Oh, that's Tubi. Love my Tubi movies.
till next time, though, hope you guys enjoyed us. It's your boy AB from DET.
It's your boy Ryan T. the Icon.
It's still the bottom line, Chuck Jordan.
And y'all know me, man. Your coach, King Coach, was good. Let's get it.
And you guys have been tuned in to the Holy Shhh Podcast.
Talk
See,
about it.
We didn't cuss there. We didn't
Yeah.
cuss there.
Talk about it.
Peace.
Okay.